Or good afternoon.
Welcome to Coffee Chat with Nili and Lindsay.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, I have coffee this morning.
Ooh,
but it is decaf
that's
coffee.
exciting. I also have coffee that is decaf, and I actually have heavy cream in it for once.
Ooh, so do I.
Oh,
Wow. Oh, wow.
It's a good time. But I also did bring water because here lately I've been on a water kick, and I'm embracing every minute of it because I know, like the tide, it's going to roll right back out at some point. So
yes,
might as well drink the water while I can.
Blaze is here, and I did
Blaze.
I changed our theme to spooky today because why not?
Well, it is the last Wednesday before Halloween. Also, it feels like I'm wearing the wrong shirt for this. I should have worn something a little bit more.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not very Halloween-y either, but
it's so hot here right now. I mean, like, and I say that it's so hot. It's like 70, but my stars, like, it's warm.
It's stormy and rainy here and a mess.
Yeah.
That's what we got going on.
I think the storms are going to be coming our direction. It's like we got this weird little blip of a week where it's just, you know.
Yeah.
Back to summerish weather.
Fun. I know you don't like that. Some people love it.
It's fine. We'll survive it, right?
Right.
The good thing about the weather is it'll change.
Well, that's true. That's one thing you can count on.
That's right.
We wanted to let you all know about the Perfect Keto Halloween sale that is going on now. Started yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It is a buy two get one sale, and then also free Nola bars, 4-pack of Nola bars. And it looked like if you buy two things and get one free, then you automatically get the free Nola. It's not like a money amount that you have to spend. That was my impression.
Yeah, that's sort of what I read as well, but
yeah. So I put my link and Lindsay's link in my description of the live stream. I don't think it translated over to Lindsay's description yet.
But I'm gonna look. Yeah, at the end of this, I can load it up.
I should probably put it in the chat too. But anyways, you can just use the link. Go start adding stuff to your cart, and every third item will be free, depending on the price and everything. There are some changes happening with Perfect Keto, and things are still a little bit up in the air about how it'll all look moving forward. But it looks like they're going to be paring down their product line. They said focusing mostly on supplements, which I take to mean like collagen and
tea powder.
I would think that would be counted as a supplement, and bars. So if there are other things from Perfect Keto that you love, like cereal, mac and cheese, I don't know, what else is there?
I wonder if they're keeping electrolytes as part of the supplement.
I'd say that would be a supplement, probably.
I would imagine like nut butters might.
Nut butters. Yeah, I don't know about the super fat because that's kind of a separate. Super butters and cookies and things like that. Anyways, all that to say, things are changing, and you cannot count on your favorite Perfect Keto things being there long term at this point. So if there's something that you really love that you need to stock up on, no better time to do it. Yeah. So that's all there is about that. Oh, also
Friday.
What did you say?
They might even be gone by Black Friday if you love.
That would be crazy. I mean, at this point, they haven't said that, but.
Well, I'm assuming that once it sells out, it sells out.
Yeah, that would be so reasonable. So anyways, we'll keep you updated on whatever we find out, but that's what we have for now. Right now, like things seem to be fairly stocked up on all the things. So you should be able to get your favorite Perfect Keto stuff. Also real quick, the Element just announced yesterday that their caramel chocolate salt is back, and it's permanent. I did not know that it was going to be permanent,
like year round.
That's what it seemed like.
Wow.
And before you could only get it in the medley box.
Medley.
Yeah, the medley box. But now you can buy just a box of caramel chocolate salt, which is fantastic. They are going to still have the medley, but that's coming later with different flavors.
What?
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it would make sense that they would want to swap out the chocolate caramel. If it's a permanent line one, then like maybe have something that was more seasonal. I did feel a twinge of sadness knowing that chocolate mint was not the one allowed to be
to be
a
permanent.
solo permanent box.
Yes.
Because I prefer the chocolate mint over the chocolate caramel.
Okay. I love the caramel chocolate all the way. It was so good. I think it became very popular last year. That was the thing that everyone was so excited about.
I would argue that Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos, like, I think she spearheaded that whole movement. I mean, it could be way wrong and it could have been somebody entirely different.
No,
but in my mind and in my heart, Rachel Stauffer is the one who spearheaded the chocolate caramel movement that resulted in it being
Two Crazy Ketos are really on the cutting edge of most movements in the keto community. I mean, it's just a fact.
They always are. They always are just like on it.
Yes. Yes, they are. We haven't even said hi to anybody.
No. And we've been
we only said hi to Blaze. Rebecca White is here. Rick Wynn is here.
Hi, Rick
Suzanne, Rita, and another Rita. 2 Ritas this morning.
Oh, how fun.
Yes. Let's see. Who else? Sing It is here from Chicago. S. Wilson is here.
Wilson, aka Stacy, not Stephanie.
Eclectic Cabin is here. Welcome, everybody.
Suzanne, did you see Suzanne is here? Did you say Suzanne?
I think I did. I know my brain saw it and said it, but my mouth may not have caught up. But I did see that.
Tray Food Deluxe. I would love to know the story behind your handle.
Where's that?
Bill is here. And then did you collect Rebecca White? Did you say?
I did. She was up at the top under Blake. She was number 2.
Cool.
Yeah.
She said that she has already purchased 3 boxes of the chocolate caramel salt.
Nice.
It's not a bad choice to stock up on your favorite flavors.
It's true. It's true. And yeah, even though it's permanent, you can never be too safe.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Things can go out of stock, and if you're familiar with the keto chow, it goes out of stock.
Oh,
and then you gotta wait a minute for it to like restock. If you are running low, you ration it diligently, and I don't know.
Yeah, butterscotch is already out of stock.
I know.
But it was super popular, so I think they have no choice. They keep acting like, oh, we're going to make a decision. And I'm like, are you really?
I do think that it is very difficult for them. They probably desperately want to be able to say like, yes, people, we hear you loud and clear. And yes, we are going to give you what you want. But then getting burned on the back end with supply issues or, production issues. It's just so,
Did you see
hard.
On their live stream last night, he had like
video clip
video for when anyone asked about butterscotch.
I did not get to watch the whole thing. I didn't watch it at all last night. I found like a small pocket while I was creating lunch today for the girls. I saw that their live stream was available for restreams, or not restream, but replay. Yeah, so I popped it on and I saw that and I was like, that is so fantastic. I think they need to do that all the time, but change it up a little every time.
It was like 40 seconds long and I was like, people are going to stop asking about butterscotch real fast. It's like, that's a good way to get people not to ask. Cheryl Davis is here.
Hello. Welcome. We're so glad you are here.
Okay, I wanted to show real quick. I was sent a keto crate and I've never had a keto crate, never gotten it, never been on the subscription for keto crate before. And so I was gonna share. Have you done keto crate?
I've never gotten a keto crate or participated or any of that.
Yeah, it seems like it's been around for a little while. But anyways, they contacted me and they're like, can we send you one just to see what you think of it and see how it goes. And so I said, sure, send it away. And I want to know from you guys watching, who of you gets keto crates? Like is that a regular part of your, monthly routine? And, what you think of it, like if it's of value to you, if you're interested in that kind of thing, I would love to know. Okay, so it looks like this. keto crate. It's like a shoebox.
Ooh.
Super cute, super cute. And
I feel like we get some like canned audience
yeah.
response, like golf claps.
Yeah.
Like we're on The Price is Right or something.
Yeah. All right. Oh, and look at how cute it looks inside.
Oh,
and everything's fun. Yeah. Anyways, first thing on the top is a beef stick, smoky. Smoky turmeric. I thought it said turkey, and I was like, beef stick and turkey. No, smoky turmeric beef stick from Mission Meats. That's exciting. Okay. Then I thought the kids would enjoy this, like the box and this as well. But it's gummy bears. It's 30 total carbs for the container, 14 grams of dietary fiber. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where
better than other choices, perhaps.
Yeah, for like kids and people that are metabolically healthy, but maybe if you're in the middle of your weight loss period and you have metabolic issues, it's like some of these things not really the right choice. But
I heard you say
meat stick for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. The gummy bears, it sounds like it's a disaster pants waiting to happen.
Yeah, it does.
Grams of fiber.
It is allulose. It is allulose, and it does have gelatin in there.
Gelatin's great.
Tapioca fiber, chicory root fiber.
There's the disaster pants.
I'll share these with the children so we all, no one eats the entire package.
There you go.
Okay, look at this.
Fiber.
Chalk Zero. I've only ever had very few Chalk Zero products. I've never ordered from them before. Double dipped almond and milk toffee. So chocolate almonds. 14 total carbs, 3.5 servings per container, 9 grams of fiber. Not too bad. That'll be fun. It seems like there's little individual packages in there. Anyways, all right. Sweet almond coconut granola.
Okay, that was in the swag bag of over at Keto Palooza. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, lupini bean flakes is the main ingredient. Did you try it?
Not yet. No, it's sitting in my pantry waiting for the opportune moment.
Excellent. New School Crunch Bar French Toast.
Okay.
I've never tried any of these before.
No,
20 grams of net carbs, 13 total carbs, 7 grams of fiber. Interesting. Maple syrup is a ingredient. It's really hard to read the ingredients because it's like all crimped right on the ingredients, so it's really difficult to read. But there was another bar from New School, lemon cookie.
Whoa,
that looks good. 12 grams of total carbs, 7 grams of fiber, 10 grams of protein. Again, very hard to read the ingredients. Oh, now I love these. You can't go wrong with these. Chipmunk.
Oh, yeah, you and the kids did some reviews of those things.
Yes, they have fantastic products. And this is the chocolate peanut butter. I mean, delicious. And it's like a whole bag. It's not even a sample pack, it looks like. That's fantastic.
Oh, it's like something you stash in the car for whenever, you're out and about. And then all of a sudden you're struck.
Yes. And well, this one has peanut. Oh, it does have almond flour. Okay. But it doesn't taste like almond flour. It's like.
Sure.
It tastes good. Speaking of perfect keto, we got a Nola bar.
That is my favorite flavor of Nola bars.
Is it?
The white chocolate macadamia.
I go back and forth, but that is one of my top. Okay.
Maple pecan is my second favorite for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that one's really good. Wow. Brownie crisps. Fantastic. Made with green bananas. All right.
So, they must be using resistant fiber from the green bananas.
Yes. Green bananas are a unique source of prebiotics, helping to improve gut health, blood sugar control, and digestion. So there's 16 total carbs per serving, and there's 3 servings per box. Tapioca fiber is the first ingredient. Organic green banana flour, second ingredient. Egg white, palm fat, cocoa, mint. Interesting. Sweetened with erythritol and stevia. So anyways, there's that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Keto Crate, and I don't even have in front of me like how much a Keto Crate costs per month.
Okay.
I don't remember, but
I do like the idea of those curated boxes because then it's like, here's some things you may not be familiar with. Try it before you go out and like
exactly.
buy it in bulk. Um, but also, I find myself kind of like in this present season, I'm like, I need to reduce my consumption of prepackaged keto labeled
Yes.
items because
Yes.
I relied a little bit more heavily on those in the past season than I care to admit.
Been there. Yeah.
We've got
Sing It
lots of
says
comments.
$39 when they were getting it. So that's
Okay.
yeah. So I think it's fun. Like I love things that make this lifestyle fun. Like I've talked
Yeah.
about that before. That's worth something to me. It's not all about just as cheap as you can possibly get it,
Right.
unless that's fun for you, which it is for some people. Um
Valid.
and I also think, helpful for kids, especially if you're trying to get them off of a standard American diet, just having that packaged food so they don't feel like they're the weird one with their, boiled eggs and meat sticks or whatever. Just
Yeah.
having something that seems similar,
Yeah.
but is not going to be as detrimental to their health. I think that's great. So I wouldn't say like it's something that everyone should rush out. Everyone needs this. Like, absolutely not. It's something that is extra. It's fun for specific seasons and for specific people. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricklin, she said the kids will love those items in the crate. Most of the products are too sweet for her.
Ah, yes. Once you change your taste,
Mm-hmm.
it really makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sing It said, it's hard to read. I think I'm gonna switch back to regular. I had it before. Okay, all right,
There we go. Readable.
Yeah. Got the Keto Crate for 3 months. Being the abstainer that I am, it wasn't ideal. All sweet tasting things left in a hurry. Executive decision canceled. I totally respect that. Like that is absolutely the right choice. When you know yourself like that. That's great.
I feel also like if you buy one of those boxes, like, and you are more of the abstainer mentality, like I myself happen to be as well, it's like I spent that money. Now I have to eat
Yes.
everything in it, regardless of whether it tastes good. Like
Or if
just
it's good for
tasting
me.
it,
Yeah.
then I have to like eat the whole thing. Otherwise, I'm throwing money down the trash. It's like that
Yeah.
sunk cost mentality. Like I can't overcome that. It's like, so yeah,
Yes.
that's, you got to know yourself for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely see that there's the right market for it and a wrong market for it.
Absolutely.
So and it's
Absolutely.
okay whatever side of the fence you are on
For
in that
sure.
respect. Ron's Keto Cafe is here. Good morning,
Hello,
Ron.
Ron.
Daniela is here. Love Chalk Zero. Yeah, I think I've only tried the chocolate peanut butter pumpkins.
So that's the only one that it was like the ghosts or the
Oh,
pumpkin
yeah, yeah.
shape,
Mhm,
like ghosts or pumpkins.
mhm.
Those were danger for me
Oh,
because I could not eat just like one. It had to be
yeah.
like six.
Yeah.
And
You know
not
what
good.
those would be really good as is like a mix into a keto chow creamy.
Yeah. So
That'd be really good.
I got to have dinner with Kim Howerton and people at Keto Palooza, and listening to her talk about Chalk Zero was very eye-opening, and I
Mhm.
appreciated her perspective and her voice on that. So if you can find her perspective on that, I strongly encourage people to go check that out as well, because there were some things that I was unaware of regarding different ingredients that she sort of very clearly laid out, and I was
Okay.
like, oh wow, that explains why they were so addictive for me.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. Maybe I'll try these and see what it
See
does to my
how addictive
CGM.
they are.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll just test and see how addictive they are. No, I
Let's
just
just see what new addictions we can create.
yeah, I was just curious what my CGM, like if things are snuck in that are really actually sugar or really actually carbs
Yes.
or whatever, then you should see it on a CGM. So That would be interesting. But yeah, I had to stop buying the perfect keto peanut butter chocolate chip bars. It's like I can eat keto chocolate, I can eat peanut butter, like that's fine. But there was something about those, and it wasn't forever. Like I had them for a long time and I would be really moderate with it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, hormones changed or stress changed or something changes and it's like, oh man, that's all I can think about. And you're like, this is a problem. So like just
Right.
being aware of that and that it can change. Like just because something was okay at one point or wasn't okay at one point doesn't mean that forever and for eternity that's going to be
Gonna
how it
stay that.
is.
Yeah.
But be open to be like, okay, at this time this is starting to become a problem for me, so let's put that away for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the perfect keto bars in general, like Nola bars.
Mm.
They are super, super addictive for me. I love that chewy texture
Oh,
that they have. Oh
yeah.
man, it's so good. And I was very disciplined through the majority of summertime. Like I'm just having these as like an option if I'm out and I
Yeah.
happen to be like super hungry. Like, and I need to be super hungry to eat one. Just because they are not free. And I would like to like make them last for as long as possible. And then it got to the point where it was like, I'm feeling peckish at home. I'll just go snag a bar because I just don't want to put any
Mhm.
effort into like finding something else or discerning whether or not I'm truly hungry or taking the 20 minutes to hard boil some eggs or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I feel like, a lot of years ago, I had this idea that if I had access to all of these products and like devices and tools and things that it would just make keto so easy or like whatever healthy lifestyle so easy. And I was like, oh, if only I had the money for that. And then
Right.
like I'm at a point now where I have access to all those things. And I'm like, well, it actually comes with its own set of difficulties. Not to
That's
say that
right.
there's not conveniences. Like obviously there are great things about these products and having them available, but it adds a layer of complexity and trying to discern, is this the right time for this? Am I overdoing that? It's never simple. It's not like you're just buying the easy button.
Right.
It
Right.
it's just another level of complexity.
That's right. Or if it's like a different set of variables you have to fit into the math equation. It may not like they may not be the same variables, but they still result in some kind of like complex equation you have to figure out.
Exactly, exactly. Let's
Ro-
see. Eclectic Cabin wants to try some of Steve's recipes using lupini flakes. Yeah, I have not gotten into the lupini craze. Have you experimented with it at all?
I have I bought lupini flour
Okay.
and I did not dig deeply into it. I think I made maybe like one or two items with that flour. And for me, I do not struggle with almond flour or coconut flour or any of those other nut alternative flours. And I also don't use them as like a staple in my diet.
Right.
So I don't tend to struggle with them. And I didn't find at that time that the lupini flour was as lupin flour, lupin.
Yeah,
I think it's
I
lupin.
think yeah, I've seen it written both ways, lupin and lupini. So I'm not
Okay,
sure if there's a difference or if it's just two names for the same thing.
sure. So I didn't find that it added enough benefit to my diet at that time. And I kind of preferred the texture of like the baking blend that I have versus just using that lupin flour. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I definitely have enough product to be able to fuss around in the kitchen with it some more to see if it's something that I care about or not.
Yeah.
One of the other ones that is like, is it bocha sweet or boca sweet?
Yes, yes.
BOCCA. Like that one actually I have not ever tried, and it does look interesting to me because I don't know, it's just one that I have not tried yet,
Uh-huh.
and I have discovered like over the years that erythritol, I don't really like have a negative response to it,
Okay.
but I do prefer the allulose.
Yeah,
I
me
do
too.
find that too much allulose can cause my gut to have a little bit of trouble.
Okay,
So I'm
yeah.
curious to see what the bocha question marks on
What is that made with?
pronunciation. It's like some specific plant.
Okay, so it's
I'll
just
let
a
you
whole
read some
different
more.
thing.
Yeah, I'll let you read some more comments while I
Okay.
draw
Oh,
up
yeah.
if my internet chooses to work today. It's sending all its power to the
The
live stream.
monetary value is over $100. Good deal if you have self-control. Yeah, it'd be interesting to count up all of this. I mean, it's possible it could be close to $100, but yeah, it's hard to know.
Bocha.
Bocha. Okay.
Bocha sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, why is that fuzzy? Okay, keep going.
Let's see. My sister's favorite food as a child was egg salad sandwiches. She said everyone at school stayed far away at lunch because she smelled like farts. And I think that was in response to being the weird child with the hard-boiled eggs. Yeah, if we can avoid that, that
Sure.
would be great.
Okay, so it's a kabocha fruit.
Oh, like a squash? Or
Yeah, but it's xylitol. Like
oh,
they convert it into xylitol.
interesting.
So,
So I wonder if it's the same as regular
and
xylitol where it's toxic to
yeah,
dogs.
I've done regular xylitol and had
Mhm.
not really negative responses. And I don't have dogs.
Yeah.
So, but like I don't know why I shuffled away from xylitol over to erythritol. May have been just like the price difference from what at that moment
Yeah.
in like the purchasing cycle.
I
Um,
think go ahead.
I can remember getting like the Redmond Real Salt or the Redmond toothpaste, their earth pastes for kids always used xylitol, and xylitol is used in a lot of like dental applications
Yes.
because it helps to eliminate the bacteria. However, side note, read what you're going to read next.
Oh.
But I found this dentist here on YouTube's,
Uh-huh.
which clearly solidifies her validation. Dr. Ellie Phillips.
Okay.
And she talks about kiss your dentist goodbye, DIY mouth care, and like breakthrough strategies to having a healthy mouth, and breakthrough strategies to stop cavities and heal gum disease naturally. And
Is it the carnivore diet?
that no, she talks a little bit more about like actual practice. Ha 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 ha.
Sorry.
She's actually a watertarian.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Well, you're not gonna get
Oh.
cavities that way.
No, there was something about like how flossing is actually damaging to our teeth. How like it's disrupting the oral biome. Like,
Okay.
and
Interesting.
I have not dug deep into this. I just heard her speak one time, and I was like, that's interesting.
Mhm.
I'm curious. So I went and looked up her books and put them in my save for later cart on Amazon so that I would remember to come back at some point and dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Which is how I have my whole.
Interesting. Well, I was gonna say, I think that xylitol kind of fell out of favor based
Because
on
of
the
the
whole
animal.
toxic to dogs thing. So I
Yeah.
think people stopped using it in products, and erythritol became the one because for a long time it was xylitol and erythritol, and then of course stevia, but that's kind of different.
Yeah.
And then when allulose, and then I kind of was I didn't even use any kind of sweeteners for several years in the middle there. And when I came back to keto, allulose had become the
The
thing.
popular kid.
And I think I tolerate allulose the best out of
Of them
all
all.
of the sweeteners, except for maybe stevia, because I don't really notice anything with stevia. But yeah, so I'm just so happy with allulose because it works like sugar. It's like, why would I go back to anything that's,
Yeah.
mediocre? But
Agreed.
I'll eat a product or something that has a little erythritol in it, but I don't go out of my way to use it in my kitchen.
Yeah, I actually find myself going out of my way to choose allulose over erythritol. I mean, I still have a bag of erythritol in my house. I just prefer the allulose.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I was gonna order, but then can't review ingredients before consuming. Yeah, that's really important. If you have all kinds of sensitivities and different ingredients you can't have, then this kind of a box would not be the best choice. It would be for the hubby who doesn't have to watch ingredients. Absolutely. That's why, for me, I probably won't eat I'll taste a few things, but
Sure.
I wouldn't just consume this whole box, especially not in a short amount of time. I would be in trouble. But having the kids, they'll try it. And
Peruse
you
the box.
never know. With the kids, it's like sometimes I'll be like, man, this is so good. Their kids are gonna love it. And then I give it to them and they're like, oh, it's so bad.
This is
And
the
then,
worst thing.
yeah, and then sometimes I'll make something and I'll be like, I'm not even gonna try to give it to them because I know they won't like it. And then someone will come in and be like, can I taste it? And oh, this is really good.
In walks the breading recipe for your
Yeah. So I've ordered products before and be like, they're gonna love this, and then they end up not. So having something like this where they could try things out, and then maybe something that I wouldn't have even ordered because I didn't think they would like it, then they do like. So there you go. Let's see. My lady laughs a lot. I make tons of Nili butter bread, egg white bread, and that helps me so much. My whole family loves it. Oh,
that's awesome.
That is so awesome. I can't get my family to eat it like regularly. Like they'll taste it and they'll enjoy it like if it's fresh, but I still haven't gotten to the point where it's like they make a sandwich
The
with
bread.
Yeah. Can't do it.
I made some burger buns for us to have burgers on Monday night. Monday night is a super busy night, or at least it's a super long period of time of being out of the house. So it's typically a picnic in the car kind of a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I made burgers and I made buns that were appropriate for my husband and I. And I didn't have the time to make burger buns for the girls like I would regularly make, like yeasted regular burger rolls.
Yeah.
And so I just did their burgers on my buns. And the middle one, she was like, okay, it's definitely not my favorite, but I'll eat it. And then the oldest, she was like, nah, that's a no. I'm gonna go bunless on my burgers. And I was like, that is agreeable to me.
Yeah. It was
then
really
the little one.
Okay. Oh, no, go ahead, finish.
The little one, she was like, I just don't know. I just don't like it. And I'm like, well, you better eat the meat anyway. The meat is what matters.
Yeah.
Leave the bread. Eat the meat.
No, it was funny when I realized, like, I made burgers for everybody, and I don't buy bread. I don't buy burger buns very often. Like, it's extremely rare. Sometimes they'll be in the house, like, left over from an event or something. But anyway, it was so weird when after I started making egg white bread, because I'm the one sitting there eating a burger with a bun, and they're all eating the bunless burgers, like the roles reverse. I'm like, you can have a bun if you want. You could.
You are welcome to the bread that I make. Be blessed.
Such a crazy switcheroo that happened.
Oh yeah, that's entertaining.
Okay. Eclectic Cabin is asking, have you all tried any recipes to recreate the perfect keto bars? I'd love to try one. Have you attempted that?
I have not. I think I would love to try making the Nola bars.
Yes.
Because that chewy texture is just, oh, that's where it's at for my mouth. That sounded weird. That's where it's at for me.
Yeah.
I love to just randomly be weird.
I am. Go ahead. I was gonna say I did mix up a thing that was based on the ingredients of those peanut butter chocolate chip keto bars, and it turned out good. It wasn't the same as the bars, and I meant to like work on that more and get it released, but I did not. Yeah. So it just was like a fat bomb that was with cacao butter, peanut butter, and other things. Basically everything that was on the list of the ingredients of those bars.
Sometimes I think that it's real, like the magic is really in the technique when it comes to making these products or making, dupes or copycat versions of these things. It's really about the technique. I mean, I think that's actually true of almost every one of our sort of like attempts at recreating something that's not keto and making it into keto. It's always about that technique. Yeah. Like the butter, anybody can add butter to an egg white bread recipe, but it wasn't until it was the frozen bread, what is it?
Frozen shredded, frozen braided butter.
My brain glitched hard on that one.
Oh, I was going to tell you about how my brain glitched this morning.
Oh, please do.
Changing the subject. Okay, so I was rushing around. I decided to be a good mother this morning and make breakfast for my children before our live stream. And so I had bacon coming out of the oven and it was getting like 9:30 and I was like, I gotta get moving to get to our live stream. And I was making my coffee and my phone was sitting next to me on the coffee counter and I just reached over and, tried to unlock it and it wouldn't accept my PIN. And I like did it 3 or 4 times and it wouldn't accept my PIN. And I was like, oh my gosh, did my phone get hacked? Like, did someone hack in and they like wiped everything? I don't know. I was like, but I'm like, I don't have time for this. I have to go sit down. And so my husband was home and I was like, my phone won't work.
Help.
And he's like, okay, I'm gonna restart it. And then I come in and get ready and I'm like stressing out like what are the hackers taking at this very moment,
Right.
And then he calls, he's like, I fixed it. And I was like, oh, what was wrong? He's like, that was my phone. We have the same phone and we even have the same case, but my case has a color on the back that's different. But when it's sitting down on a counter, it looks the same. And so I'm like, why isn't it working? And it was his phone.
That is entertaining. I oftentimes will plug in the wrong passcode on different devices because they're not always the same across all devices for us. And I'll be like, what is wrong with this? Do I have to reset my password again? And then all of a sudden I plug in like my new password or passcode. You cannot use that. It's the same one. And I'm like,
every time.
High five on your brain glitch.
Thank you. It was quite amusing after I was relieved.
Right.
Oh, Rebecca, being on BBBE is painful. I understand. Like, and there's a comment down here, bacon is never painful. Like, that's true. But try only eating bacon. Like, we've talked about this. Like, it doesn't matter how good a food is. When you try to limit your diet to only that thing, it gets old super fast. It's so weird.
Yeah, the only thing I've not struggled with when it comes to trying to do mono food or limited food like challenges with myself, the only thing has been egg fasts. I can breeze through egg fasts like nobody's business.
Yeah, I can.
And I increase my calories almost every single day and still wind up dropping all of the inflammation. And
so crazy.
For me, the egg fast is the ticket to reset.
Yeah. Speaking of like, because last week we were talking about mono food diet and stuff.
Well, we were talking about what Dr. Becky had said about the cafeteria buffet versus
yes,
like the simplified options.
I was noticing this week that I have that effect if I drink a sweetened drink with my meal.
So you crave more foods if you pair that flavor.
Yeah. So I was eating cheese and I like had eaten some and I'm like, that's enough. I'm good. And then I took a big sip of Element and all of a sudden I was like, that cheese looks good again. It was crazy. And like thinking back about it, that definitely happens. I know that has happened, but like being aware of it now, I was like, okay, now that's an important thing. So I'm trying to like not drink sweetened drinks with my meals and just have them because it doesn't seem to affect me between meals. Like if I drink Element, then I'm craving later. That doesn't seem to be the case. But just drinking it, like clearing my palate with the sweet, made the savory, salty all of a sudden look appealing again.
Craveable.
I could eat a whole nother serving of it, when before I was like, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm done.
I'm happy with my life
Yeah,
until
exactly. It was so crazy. So that was really cool to like
that
just
is
be aware of that.
interesting.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be more careful about that.
Yeah. That's very good.
Let's see. Ron
I
is
mean, like,
asking,
not that you got the cravings after
right,
having
no, but
the
the
drink,
knowledge.
but the connection,
Knowledge.
the mental connection there.
Ron is asking, has anyone tried the chicken flour? So we
Yep.
have both tried it, and we've got some videos um, with different
Yeah.
recipes and stuff. What's your opinion of the chicken flour?
I personally really like it in the egg white wraps
Oh
to
yeah,
like
you gotta try
replace.
that
Like I
some.
I use my baking blend to give it more of a tooth, and I also use psyllium husk in it. Um, but I do like the chicken flour in those egg white wraps, just because, or egg wraps,
Yeah.
because it gives that same kind of toothiness. I prefer a corn tortilla over a flour
Mm,
tortilla, and it, like I said, that kind of that mouth feel of the corn texture, it really adds something for me
yeah.
in that respect. I know that there are loads of like meat flour breads, like carnivore breads using
Yes.
it. I've not gone to that direction as of
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. I've tried a couple of bread products, and not my favorite. Um,
Sure.
like the savory flavor of it is just like, that just doesn't work. Like,
Mm,
even though it doesn't like taste like you're eating chicken, like there's just this meatiness to it where it's like, this is not.
sure.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I just wouldn't say it's like bread at all. It is like the texture of it is very much like cornmeal, like you were saying.
Hmm.
And so it doesn't work like as a one-to-one replacement for flour in other recipes. You have to be kind of specific in how you use it, or a recipe developed specifically for the chicken flour.
Right.
Um, but I think my favorite way that I've used it is in my protein breading recipe in place of the pork rind. It's
Yeah.
super good. And
That's a
actually, I have a
great
video
thought.
coming out this weekend where I used it. I did that hash brown video a couple weeks ago, and
Right.
did like a remix of it and did it a different way and used the chicken flour. It was really, really good. It like
Yeah.
the savoriness worked really well in that recipe. So
Very
that's coming up
cool.
soon. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I do agree with you. It does not seem to be lend itself to a sweet thing. Like I wouldn't turn around and try to make Johnny cakes with the
Yeah.
chicken flour, because those to me sound sweeter. I don't know that I would try to make a faux cornbread out of it.
Yeah, I did attempt that, and it was like there was
Not it.
the texture was there, the taste
The
was not there.
flavor was wonky.
Yeah, it was super weird. Yeah. Um, let's see.
Oh, Janice McGovern, you're on a gelatin craze right now. I stinking love gelatin. I feel like that is one of the most versatile items to have in your pantry, that is so clean and so just like, I don't know, like broad spectrum friendly for people.
Yeah, gelatin is great. I've had so much fun with experimenting with that and like finding different ways to use it. It's so crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Although my husband gets a little bit like, maybe don't put that one in your in your desserts like as much, because now I just feel like I'm eating Jello jigglers.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Which
Gotta
jello
be
jigglers are
super
pretty great.
cautious.
Let's see. Michelle is here, barely caught the live at what looks like the tail end. Yeah, we usually
We're
go
still
about an
here for a little
hour,
bit.
so we're still here a little bit. I'm kind of behind on the chat. Going
Yeah.
slow here. Oh, and Reese is finally here. We were waiting.
Hi, Risa. I tell you what, when I was still living in Alaska, I got a hold of some of the Vital Proteins gelatin, not the
Oh, yeah.
collagen, the gelatin.
Yes.
And I decided that I was going to start adding that into my coffee in the mornings, because I'd heard all these benefits of gelatin. It's so good for you. And I thought, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, my oldest was 4 and my middle was 1. The youngest was not even a concept yet. And I would put that in my coffee cup, set it down, like drink some, have to go deal with somebody needing something, come back, and I would try to drink from the coffee cup. But because the coffee was hot, it would activate the gelatin. And then as it cooled down, it would gel up.
Spoon.
The fortunate thing is you'd pop it in the microwave and it would come back out as a liquid because that's how Jello
Yep.
works.
Yep.
But I was
That's
just like,
hilarious.
have I been gone that long?
Joanne says fat bombs are my thighs favorite. I feel that. It's
For
so
me-
true. Like there have been a lot of like different phases in the keto world, and the fat bomb phase comes and goes, you know, just like all of
Oh
them. They
yeah.
come and go.
Oh yeah.
But the idea that if you just eat more fat, your body will
You'll be
burn more
better.
fat. And like if your hormones are all out of whack, it's like eating a bunch of fat could, you know, stimulate something, but just so I'm saying there may be cases in which someone added lots more fat to their diet and it caused them to lose weight. Like I think that's possible, but I wouldn't say that's a universal truth.
Yeah.
The more
Yeah.
fat you eat, the skinnier you'll get.
I will say
very well.
no, I will say that using fat bombs strategically can
Yes.
be very beneficial. And it's one of those, like, if you are a moderator and can tolerate just like having one or two little bites of something, fat bombs can be a beautiful tool to use. I am not that, so I tend to steer clear. Like when I make my own homemade peanut butter cups, it is danger in this house. And I have to like keep them frozen because if they're in the fridge, they're so much more easily poppable for me.
Right.
And Jared, he can have like one a day and be perfectly satisfied with his life. And look at that and I'm like, I cannot start or I will not stop till I reach the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because we make truffles every year for Christmas and they're not keto. Although I did make a keto version of the recipe, but we make them to give out to people. And I realized, like, because there's been many years where I've been keto, you know, up to Christmas time.
And then you relax.
Yeah, I mean, usually a little bit, and different years are different. But I realized that I didn't even struggle very much with temptation to eat the truffles while we were making them if I didn't have the first one.
Yeah.
And I knew that. I was like, as soon as I have the first one, I will want to eat them all. But if I didn't have that first one, I wouldn't eat like it would just be fun. I wouldn't even be tempted. But as soon as you have the first one, it's like your mouth is watering and like that's all your mind can think about. And it's crazy.
Yes.
And
yes.
and I'm not one that's, you know, a complete abstainer. I am more of a moderator than I used to be. And so I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to have some of these, it makes sense that I would wait until we're done, you know, making them. So, because it's like, I don't want to start with the one and then be dealing with chocolate for days after. I will, you know, choose my time wisely to have it when there's not as much of that temptation around, and then recognize that it's going to take me a day or so to get back to, you know, having it not be a craving anymore, you know. And so like just being aware of that. Like it was just so bizarre because it's like you think when you think it's like it's all about calories, it's all about calories in versus calories out. It doesn't take into account that both physiological and mental part of it, where it's like that truffle is so much different of a temptation in those two separate states.
Right.
It's like it's night and day. Anyways.
Oh yeah. I kind of have my brain glitch out whenever I hear people say a calorie is a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. Yes, the unit of measurement for burning something is called a calorie, and there's no changing that because that is scientifically what it is called. that doesn't mean that a fat calorie is going to translate into the same thing in your body that a carbohydrate calorie translates into, or a protein calorie. It's just like they're different on purpose. Like they do not function the same. Otherwise, we could say that a person could eat 100% carbohydrates, zero protein, zero fat. And why would they not look the same as somebody who ate a variety of macronutrients?
Right.
You know, it doesn't work
Intuitively,
that
we
way.
just know that's not the case. But
Yeah.
somehow we want it to be simple, the simplicity of just eat less.
Yeah, and I think that that also takes into account to say to yourself, you don't have to give up what you really want in life. You don't have to give up the the things that are not good for you, because they're not really bad for you. There's no good food, there's no bad food, there's no morality
Mm.
associated with food. But also, that's basically saying if you have an addiction to sugar, it's okay to have a little bit of your addiction.
Yeah.
Okay, alcoholic, to have a beer. It's okay, like drug addict to pop these 3 pills, and then it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
I
but it's not taking into account, like, me in front of a glass of alcohol is a completely different, like, temptation than it would be in front of an alcoholic. Like, the
absolutely.
context matters. It's like, I've
That's
never
right.
been a drinker, like, and so I'm like, I can take it or leave it. It's fine, but there's nothing in me that's like, I have to drink that. If I don't drink that,
Or
I'm
I
gonna
have to
die.
stop myself from grabbing that instantly.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I feel that
And
way
it's
about
just and
chocolate. I have
so
to actually manage myself around chocolate.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So just knowing the context and knowing like what you can handle and what you can't. But then back to the fat bomb thing, don't feel like you have to stuff yourself with fat in order to lose fat. Fat is good. You should have a good amount, a moderate amount, whatever, is right for your body. But the idea that just eating more of it equals less fat on your body, I just don't think it's panned out the way people had hoped.
I think that it's helpful in the very beginning to go and say, okay, let's have
Yes.
a focus on fat. That way you are feeling satiated. And
Yeah.
then start,
And
like, it's like
switching your
whenever,
body's metabolism.
yeah, you think about it. If you're at a dead stop at a red light and then it turns green, you have to really kind of give that gas pedal some pressure so that it can overcome the inertia of you sitting still. So you got to kind of rev it up to get
Yeah.
across that start line. And then once you get up to speed, you don't sit there and hold it at the same amount of like gas pedal that you had whenever you're just getting started. You're
Right.
just trying to maintain. So you ease up off of that a little bit until like you notice, okay, am I slowing down a little bit? I can speed back up a little bit, or
Mhm. Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I feel like that's similar with, like, the keto products because,
Mm-hmm.
like, when I was first kicking my sugar addiction,
Yeah.
I went to the store and bought every single product that, had Atkins on it. Like, and I didn't know a whole lot more to do besides that because I was on such a standard American diet at the time, but, it's like and that was fine, like, I did kick my sugar addiction to a very large degree by incorporating all of those products.
Mm-hmm.
Would I eat all of those products every day now? No, absolutely not. So, like you said, when you're first starting, like just saying fat is free, like I can just eat as much fat. All I need to do is stay away from the carbs. That
Yeah.
is a great way to start. Like the worst way to start would be like, I need to really restrict my calories. I need to, eat this tiny little amount of bland, flavorless food. You're
Yeah.
not going to stick to it. So when you can
Oh,
have steak with butter and bacon and fat bombs and, keto cheesecake, it's like, let's talk about longevity. Like you can actually sustain this and you can make little
right.
tweaks as you go, but it's
Mm-hmm.
so much better than like this. I'm going to do this super extreme thing and
I'm
it
gonna
only
hold on by
lasts
my fingernails.
exactly.
Just, oh,
And it's only going to last for 2 weeks before I'm back. And that's just like the pendulum swing. So
absolutely.
I'm all for the fat, but I'm all for the awareness that it's not magic.
Yes.
It's wonderful, and it sometimes feels magical when you're eating it, but
Yes.
it's not like the magic weight loss bullet. For me,
No. Although
if it worked for somebody else, that's great.
the fat cap off of a piece of beef, though, that is magic, and it will magically fix all of your heart's desires.
Yes. I mean, seriously. I have some picanha, defrosting right now that I am going to cook today, and it's going to be fantastic.
I took my first
Mm.
roast off of our beef that we had bought, and I finally got like, okay, we've eaten down probably 70 pounds of our ground beef. Let's start pulling out a roast every now and then. And I pulled
Yeah.
out some roast, and I made my hot roast beef to put over top of like
Yes.
cauli rice or anything. And oh, there was like this layer, this cap of fat, and I was just like, it's so
My
good.
life is so
Why
good.
does it melt in your mouth like just like heaven?
Oh,
I
it's
love
so
the fat.
beautiful. It's so beautiful. Alright. Oh, let's see. Spirit Junkie says Costco will have
I
the
think they mean
marinara
Rayo's.
sauce.
I
What?
think they mean
Rayo's?
Rayo's.
Yeah, okay, that sounds right. And Kerrygold butter on discount starting, November 13th through the 27th. Yeah. I definitely have the Kerrygold butter discount
Marked.
noted. I love how Costco puts out their holiday specials all ahead of time, so you
Yeah,
know what's coming. That's so nice.
sure. You can kind of prepare for it the month before, be like,
Yeah,
I might want to set aside a little extra grocery budget to really stock the freezer on that thing.
yeah.
Sam's Club does do a similar thing. Monthly, they will send
Oh,
you
nice.
like their upcoming deals and whatnot.
Yeah, we don't have a Sam's Club here either. No Aldi, no Sam's Club. It's so sad.
And didn't they shut down that Walmart over there in Fairview area? Or
I heard that some Walmarts were closing. I'm not aware of which ones. I don't shop
Mhm.
at Walmart very much.
Yeah,
I and there's not really one very close to us. So,
sure, sure.
okay, frying cabbage. How do you do it?
I just fry it in a pan, literally. I do put fat in it, whether I choose butter for the day or tallow or avocado oil. Those three are my fats of choice. I did have a lot of lard, and then something went kind of wonky with my lard, and there was a layer on it that would never come like at room temperature. Lard should be solid, and it was never solidifying, which gave me pause. I
That's
was
weird.
concerned about that, so I dumped that. I'm thinking that it had some sort of foreign contaminant in it.
Hmm.
But yes, tallow, butter, avocado oil. If you have the lard is delicious. I shred it up super fine and then just let it go in my cast iron or whatever skillet I'm using that day, and let it get crispy, let it get kind of burnt. Oh, when it's burnt, I
Yeah,
love that.
so good.
And that's the way it goes. A lot of salt. A lot of
Mhm.
salt.
Do you like nutritional yeast?
So I used to be a little bit more intentional with using it when we lived in Wisconsin. There was a Mennonite little like bulk grocery store kind of a
Mhm.
place that we had in town, and they would sell like the big flakes of nutritional
Yeah.
yeast. And I would use it then. I haven't really since we left Wisconsin.
Mhm.
It was not something that I was drawn to use often, but I would use it when I had it.
Yeah, okay. So I like to make cabbage the same way you do, and
Hmm.
there's one way that I've done it for years and it's super good. I'll fry it up just like you said, and then sprinkle it with nutritional yeast and put in a little bit of coconut milk. And you can do it with
Mm.
cream. I started doing it during when I was paleo.
Yeah.
And it makes like the nutritional yeast kind of has that cheesy flavor, and then the coconut milk is creamy, and so it almost made like a mac and cheese.
Alfredo.
Yeah, or an Alfredo, like a cheesy cabbage, creamy, and when you're on paleo, you're not having dairy, and so that
Yeah.
was kind of like a creamy side dish, but I'd still make it now, like, it's that good, so
Yeah.
that's a fun option.
I think that
Cabbage
my
is
favorite
well,
my favorite thing with the shredded fried cabbage is to like make a little nest and crack the eggs into it. And then I like
oh,
my
yeah.
my fried eggs to be kind of over medium to
Mhm.
over hard personally. So I'll let them just sit there and fry until like there's like a beautiful like burnt crust on the bottom.
Yes. I need to make
I
more
love that
cabbage.
crispy.
Yeah.
It's such an inexpensive food product too.
It is. It's so good.
It's very versatile.
Yeah. Suzanne says her very thin boyfriend uses fat bombs to keep him warm in the winter. That's a great way to use them. I don't need fat bombs to keep me warm.
That's right.
I've got my own fat bomb layer. Brenda
We're all
Foley is here from Louisville. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we're all just a whole bunch of harbor seals. Just getting ready for winter.
Hey, it's nature. We got to make it through that winter, that hard winter that's coming.
I have heard
Keeps
that.
on coming, and we keep preparing for it.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
It's gonna be a cold one.
Let's see a little bit more. Anything else that we need to talk
Spirit
about? I'm
Junkies.
still behind on the chat.
Spirit Junkie said that my lard probably wasn't cleaned enough. It was probably a watery gel on top. So I would agree with you that it may not have been like purified well enough, but there was never any water introduced into it, into the lard that was being strained and put into my lard jar. And there were things that started to kind of look interesting in it. And so I just didn't trust it. And so I just let it go. And most of my lard that I get is not from taking like pig suet, or is it suet off a pig?
Suet would be the kidney. I don't know if it's.
I just don't know what the
beef,
fat.
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Well,
whatever
there's beef lard.
unrendered pig lard, pork lard.
Okay.
I didn't do that. I was always just like siphoning off and cleaning it from like cooking bacon in the oven. And so I don't know what went wrong with it, but I felt like it was just not worth getting the potential food poisoning from it. So I let that go.
Yeah.
And I have so much tallow that I don't miss I don't miss the lard right now.
Yeah. Sounds like how I start my cabbage and pork curry. Yeah, that would be really good.
That is very nice.
Let's see.
Sophia asked if there are any high protein, low fat suggestions for the Ninja Creamy.
Ooh.
I would suggest if you have keto chow, mixing up a keto chow and only using 2 teaspoons of fat in it, if you are intentionally trying to keep your fat as low as possible. And I suggest 2 teaspoons because that would be roughly 10 grams of fat, meaning that your body could actually assimilate the vitamins that are fat soluble from the Ninja Creamy, if that's the path you're going to take. Yeah. But that's my initial reaction to that one.
Yeah. I also like to add Equip protein to keto chows when I'm trying to really bump up the protein. So like the chocolate one is my favorite, and you can add, a scoop of chocolate to a chocolate keto chow. I usually add more water because it gets super thick, like a Wendy's Frosty. Or thicker. It's actually really good when you add in that protein. And you could freeze that and have that be a creamy with, however much fat you want for the creamy, like at least 2 teaspoons, hopefully, to get all of those nutrients. But that's a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
And then I have done a couple recipes where I just used the Equip protein powder and made an ice cream out of that. I did add coconut milk, but you could, use a different liquid, and, like same with the keto chow, add as much fat as you want in it. But it should still work. Yeah.
I had another thought come to mind. So Joe and Rachel at True Crazy Ketos have their egg pudding recipe using soft scrambled egg whites. If you are trying to go without having to buy a whole pile of extra ingredients, or without having, like, if you don't have Equip or Keto Chow, I would suggest doing, some egg whites, soft scrambled, blend that up with either some heavy cream or some, heavy cream is high fat. Maybe with just a little bit of water and like the tiniest bit of cream or something in it for, a tiny bit of creaminess. And your sweetener of choice, maybe a tablespoon of cocoa powder, and then seeing if that would work. That would be an option to play with. I don't know. I just think like the way that those puddings turn out, it's kind of mousse-like, and I can just imagine that being like a frozen texture would be pretty rad.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to try it. Jackie asked up here, do you guys still use power flour? Lindsay?
I do not. Largely because my desire to bake has kind of waned in this most recent couple of seasons. And whenever I do make the egg white bread or egg bread or protein bread or whatever, I don't ever have leftovers to then turn around, dry it out, and grind it up. And that was kind of one of those times when I was using it, it was because I was making a broad variety of different recipes, whether they turned out or didn't turn out. I knew I could always fall back on turning it into the power flour type thing to use in future things. And I just found that the juice was not worth the squeeze when I was not going through and making all the breads. I also played around with a lot, trying to just go from raw ingredients to power flour without baking it first. And I failed at every try.
Yeah. I'm not, experimenting with egg white bread to the same degree that I was a year or so ago. So I don't usually have leftovers, and it was good in certain things. And I actually still have a container of it in my pantry that I should be using. I just have gotten out of the habit of it. But like your cookie recipe, the microwave cookie,
the little one.
Yeah, making that with the power flour was actually really good.
Texture is everything.
Do that again. Yeah, so thank you for the reminder, because I should use that up at least what I have,
right.
But again, it's just a lot of work that since I'm not in that same phase experimenting, it hasn't made sense.
Right. I will say, I'm curious to know whether or not the power flour would give the same kind of texture for cornbread.
Oh, yeah.
Without having the kind of off flavor with the chicken flour.
Yeah.
That kind of struck my mind, because that is a similar kind of texture.
Yeah.
So that's,
because it's basically like breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs.
That's exactly it.
Let's see. We have already been on here for an hour and 8 minutes. And Chris
we have.
Wilkes, who just decided to show up. Come on.
Thanks for popping by, friend.
we've been just sitting here waiting for you. Just
now the party can start.
Yes. Let's see. Anything? Everyone's saying hi to Chris. Yeah. Jackie says she has a container of power flour in the cupboard too. Yeah.
And I think what's hard is that we get excited about these things because we're trying so many different things, and then you get jazzed about it, and then some shiny thing over here starts to catch your attention, so you move over here and then over here, and it's like there are so many amazing things that we can do in this space that choosing a trajectory and just sticking to that long term is nearly impossible.
Yeah. And then you go into your pantry and you have like ghosts of all the experiments past.
And you're like, I don't think I labeled that one clearly because it's rubbing off now. What was that?
I have no idea what that was. Yeah, exactly.
So like, how you go in, make all of your dry ingredient, big batches for the egg bread. I was thinking to myself, that is a brilliant idea because it is irritating to drag out, your 17,000 ingredients and measure and weigh and all that mess. Yeah. But then I realized that I have a graveyard of pre-mixed things. Oh. So it's like, that is not where my brain
Has
lives.
ended up working.
Yeah. I mean, if it was something that every single week I was using the egg bread as like a base for something, like when you were doing your rolls and soup or your bread and soup,
Oh,
like your
that was so
challah
fun.
bread, and yeah, like I was
You
like,
do
oh,
that
that's
again.
a really great way to go about the fall and the winter. And
Yeah.
it's just not where my brain is. I am so much more aligned with the concept of let's have thousands of ingredients that I can mishmash together in some
Yeah.
way and ta-da,
Yeah.
versus this is only like I never did well with like pre-made brownie mixes or the rice-a-roni pre-mixed up, or like even when I was not keto. So to me that just, it's a great idea and my heart wants so desperately to be there, but I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. It's all about being realistic. Realistic. If you're gonna buy a keto crate and just eat the whole thing in one sitting,
Don't do it.
maybe don't buy the keto crate. Like, let's be realistic here.
Mhm.
Sing It asked what power flour is, but it looks like Rickwin and Chris answered that for them. Don't forget to check out the Perfect Keto Sale if there's anything you need from them, keeping in mind that your favorite things may be going away soon. Stock up if you need to.
Yep.
Chocolate caramel element. That's all I got.
Keto chow is amazing. Even if Chris only just now showed up.
Yeah, we still like it.
I guess. That's a good thing they make a great product because sometimes the friendship is lacking. I'm kidding, Chris.
Just kidding. Oh. He likes your tumbler.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one is actually limited edition. Cannot buy anymore. I'm fancy and you are not.
I'm not fancy. I know that much. Renee has stolen our keto chow tumbler. So, yeah. Because it's
Well,
so pretty, with all the colors. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us on this
So glad
beautiful
that you are
day.
here.
And we will see you again same
We'll see
time
you next
week.
month.
Oh yeah.
It'll
After
be the
Halloween. We'll
first.
see you in November. Wow.
That's so amazing.
So crazy. Yeah.
Yay!
All right. Bye everybody.